JUGGERNAUT Collectibles here for an action figure review. Today we are looking at the 2021 Hasbro Pulse exclusive Marvel Legends X-Force 3-pack. The 3-pack consists of Domino, Rictor, and Cannonball. The packaging gives homage to the 1993 X-Men Series 2 Skybox trading cards. All 3 cards feature inker Jimmy Palmiotti and colorist Paul Mounts. Out of the package, the grayscale background cardboard is a collage of the X-Men Series 2 trading cards. First we have Cannonball, who according to the Skybox trading card says possesses the mutant power to create a blast field that enables him to fly. Here is a new calm head sculpt for Cannonball. The goggles are squarish in shape with shiny silver paint. The upper half of the body is a repaint of the Cannonball from the WENDIGO Build-A-Figure. The shirt under his jacket is somewhat blue-purple. The sculpted details in his jacket is now painted with gray. On the waist, there are 4 sculpted details that does not stand out because they are painted white, which is the same as the pants. He has gray boots, and there are sculpted straps on top which is painted in white. He comes with an alternate head which is the angry head sculpt, which is just a repaint of the one that came with the WENDIGO Build-A-Figure wave. I hope they made it a bit different wherein he wear the goggles on top of his eyes instead. Among the 3 characters in this set, Cannonball appeared first in 1982 as one of the founding members of the New Mutants. In Marvel Graphic Novel number 4, Sam saved a co-worker from a collapsing mine. In terms of this particular costume, Sam debuted this costume in New Mutants number 90, published June 1990. Cable, who is the new leader of the New Mutants, directed them to design new costume with motifs that expresses team unity and include variations that express their own identities. Warlock pointed out to Sam that he does not need goggles as his power protects him from the blast fields. However, Sam just said, "They just look cool, that's why I want them." Placing the head with the angry head sculpt, it fits well when he does his blast off mutant power. It is a repaint of the one that came with the WENDIGO Build-A-Figure wave. Separating the upper body and lower body is easy, and putting on or pegging on the blast effect on the upper body is easy as well. The blast effect is hollow. The paint done is more bold or bright. Comparing this new Cannonball with the old Cannonball that came from the WENDIGO Build-A-Figure wave, the hair is painted differently in different shade, but it's the same yellow in a way. The gloves are different, brown for the old one and gray for the new one. The old one has dark purple jacket and a white undershirt. The blast effect is more translucent looking in the old one compared to the new one, which is solid. So let's try to see if the old one fits on the new blast effect. And here it seems to work fine and it's not loose. It fits well. Same is true for the old blast effect and the new body. It still looks great. And removing it, we can attach the new legs on the old Cannonball body as well. It seems to work seamlessly because the purple paint details from the legs does not continue to the body. Hasbro made the shirt of Cannonball look like it's a separate piece from the pad. The new calm head sculpt fits well with the old Cannonball from the WENDIGO Build-A-Figure wave. The figure with legs stands 16.4 cm or 6.5 inch tall. According to the X-Men Impel Trading Card Series 1, he stands 6 feet. The figure with the blast effect stands 18 cm or 7.1 inch tall. Here are some Marvel Legends size comparisons beginning with X-Force Wolverine and Deadpool, X-23 and TIGRA, Thunderbird and WARPATH, the old Cannonball from the Wendigo Build-A-Figure wave and Cable, 7-inch scale Marvel Select THOR and Immortal Hulk. To simply describe Domino's mutant power, we can say that she is extremely lucky and things turn out for her favor. Here we have Domino with her lavender headgear and shoulder pads to match. She has a straight jet black hair. Thankfully, the costume she's wearing feels like a separate piece from her body. There are sculpted details, it is not like a body paint. The lavender square rectangular details on her arms are sculpted. The belt and leg straps is a separate piece. The legs are painted half blue and white. The pins are blue, so it looks very obvious. In my opinion, the lavender headgear is hiding so much of her face. If you pull it up, you can see that her face is painted well under the gear. The character known as Domino appeared in New Mutants number 98, published February 1991. It was later revealed that she was Copycat, who was pretending to be Domino. Cable was caught off guard by Deadpool and he was losing the battle. His luck turned around when Domino arrived and knocked out Deadpool. Domino was introduced to the New Mutants as an ally of Cable. In X-Force number 11, published June 1992, Deadpool sneaked into X-Force headquarters and caught Domino by surprise. Deadpool kept on calling her Vanessa. He spilled out her secret that she is a mole working for Tolliver. Vanessa, also known as Copycat, has stopped giving Tolliver trade secrets about X-Force. Thus, Deadpool came to remind her to fulfill her job. The last page showed the real Domino, Nina Thurman, as a prisoner of Tolliver. She comes with a pair of closed fist hands. She comes with a pair of trigger hands. Her head has a double dumbbell joint, where the dumbbell joint is attached to the head rather than the neck. It is the same as the one that came with the Marvel Legends Miles Morales, which came out earlier this year, 2021. In terms of her neck, there is a swivel and it does give great range to her head movement. It is a bit difficult to attach back the head because the hair prevents it a bit from aligning towards the neck. So you just need to try to get the dumbbell in the middle and push it towards the neck. So there is really great range in terms of the movement of the neck because of the swivel. Here she is beside the old Domino from the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure wave. The head sculpts are entirely different, and in terms of the guns with the new Domino is better because they are made in different paints. I mean, there is silver paint details and the black parts. Be careful with this part because it easily breaks. It is the same gun that came with the X-Force Deadpool. Because of Deadpool's hand a little bit bigger, it caused that part to break easily because the hand pushes it forward. It is the same gun that came with the AIM Soldier, but it's the AIM Soldier 2-pack. It's just painted differently. This is a new gun. I am not sure where else has this been used. It's a bit like cosmic type in terms of design. In terms of her head, the hair is actually from the Emma Frost Walgreens exclusive head sculpt. It's just painted black, but the details are exactly the same in terms of the hair. In terms of the belt, it is the same belt that came with the earlier versions of female versions of, Lady Deadpool and Silver Sable. It's the exact same belt but painted differently. and the scope work is all the same. In terms of height, Domino is 15.8 centimeters or 6.8 tall. In Impel trading card, it is mentioned that she is just 5 feet 7 inch tall, making this figure a little bit tall. Here are some Marvel Legends size comparison, beginning with X-Force Wolverine and Deadpool, X-Force X-23 and the old Domino from the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure wave, Lady Loki and TIGRA, a couple of ladies that share the same fashion statement in terms of belt, Silver Sable and Lady Deadpool, members of the same gun association, Deadpool and the AIM Soldier, Cable and Warpath, 7-inch scale Marvel Select Thor and Hulk, Colossus and the Juggernaut. Rictor possesses the mutant power to generate waves of vibration. Here we have Rictor. He has a long brown hair with some shading. His facial expression is a bit calm with a raised eyebrow. He has a metallic brown like silver shoulder pads which are a separate piece. The costume details are all painted. The belt is a separate sculpted piece. The black lines on top of the blue paint on his legs are just painted. The boots is the outstanding piece of this figure because it is well sculpted with folded details and some metal spikes. Rictor first appeared in X-Factor number 17, published June 1987. He was rescued by the X-Factor as he was being used by a terrorist group to shake San Francisco. Rictor joined the New Mutants but had some doubts with the new leader, Cable. In the past, Rictor has always blamed Cable for the loss of his father. With his doubts, he sneaked out and went to the Morlock tunnels. Realizing he left, Cable led a rescue mission. In the tunnel, Rictor first encountered Caliban. He fought him, but soon Sabretooth joins the battle. Rictor manages to stay away from Sabretooth and Caliban as they beat each other up. In the end, Caliban won and Rictor was taken to safety by the New Mutants. Despite Cable's efforts to gain his trust, Rictor still left the team. In X-Force number 11, he resurfaced as a member of Weapon Prime. He eventually joined X-Force. This popular costume of his debuted in X-Force number 19. He comes with a pair of closed fist hands. When switching the hands, be careful as the bands on his wrists can fall off. The second pair of hands he comes with is a pair of clapping hands which he uses when he demonstrates his mutant powers. So he claps together and the vibrations come out. He comes with a pair of the power effect in green. This has been the usual effect piece that Hasbro has been giving out. You can put his hands together and slide on the power effect in the middle to demonstrate his mutant power. In terms of his head, you can see that the shoulder pads is a removable piece, and how tall how long his neck is. Now we can clearly see that this is the same body mold from the Thunderbird of the Storm and Thunderbird 2 pack. It is the same body mold but painted differently. The arm tassels of Thunderbird is red while Rictor has a light green color. Removing the neck, we can clearly see how the neck of Warpath and Rictor is the same. They are both kinda long or tall, which makes the head sits high. In terms of the back, you can see that they have the same peg hole in the middle. The action figure stands 16.8 centimeters or 6.8 tall. According to the Skybox trading card, It says that he is 5 feet tall, 9 inch tall, making this figure a little bit taller than his actual height based on the comics. Here are some Marvel Legends size comparisons, beginning with X-Force Wolverine and Deadpool, Magic and Boom Boom, Cable and Warpath, some 7-inch scale figures, Colossus and Juggernaut. Sam can move his head from side to side, look down and look up. His arms can extend that far, bicep swivel, can do a full 360. He has double jointed elbows. His wrist can swivel and hinge. He can crunch forward and crunch back. He has a waist swivel here, removing it and attaching the legs, which is where the swivel is. He can do a split. He has a upper thigh swivel, double jointed knees. He has a lower calf swivel, can hinge forward and back. He can kick forward that far. In terms of Domino, she can look from side to side, look down up with great range, great swivel. Her arms can extend that far, can do a full 360 but hindered by the shoulder pads a bit. She has a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, pinless, and she has a swivel on her wrist. She can hinge forward and back in the wrist. She has an upper torso swivel, can crunch forward and back, crunch that far, crunch forward that much. She doesn't have a waist swivel. She can do some split, upper thigh swivel, double jointed knees with pins. She has a hinge on her feet and has an ankle rocker as well. Can kick that far forward as well. In terms of Richter's articulation, he can look from side to side, but some hindrance from his long hair. He can look down a bit, cannot look up. His arms can extend that far. Again, the shoulder pads prevent the full 360 articulation on the arms. He has a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, wrist swivel, can hinge forward and back. He can crunch forward, crunch back. There's some gap a bit. There's a waist swivel here. She has an upper thigh swivel, double jointed knees, not that much because of the boots. He can hinge his feet and has an ankle rocker as well. The 1990s X-Force team is almost complete. Siren will be added mid-2022, thus only Feral will be missing from the X-Force team. Unlike the 90s X-Men where Hasbro picked their costume based on the Jim Lee X-Men run, for X-Force, Hasbro picked the more iconic or popular costumes of this character, which appeared in the comic books during different times in the 90s. For Domino, I wish Hasbro used a different hairpiece, something similar to how Rob Liefeld drew her in the X-Force comics. In terms of accessories, I wish that they added some alternate head sculpts for Domino and Rictor, but in terms of the power effects and hands, it's almost complete. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and ring the notification bell.